Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group. It's Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's dive into the day's top headlines. Roughly a month after being replaced as acting CIO of the Department of Energy, Principal Deputy CIO Dawn Zimmer is now back serving in the department's top IT role. Zimmer is filling the CIO position for the second time since Inauguration Day after Ryan Riedel briefly took on the role overseeing the department's $4.3 billion IT portfolio in early February. As FedScoop first reported, Zimmer returned to her primary role as Principal Deputy CIO at Energy when Riedel, previously a network engineer at Elon Musk-owned SpaceX, was appointed to the CIO role. She took over the acting CIO role after Biden administration Energy CIO Ann Dunkin stepped down at the change of administration. Riedel's appointment came amid reports that members of the Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency entered the Department of Energy and accessed its IT systems. The DOGE also fired hundreds of members of the DOE House National Nuclear Security Administration before backtracking on that decision and reinstating most of the employees. It's unclear why Riedel departed the role after just over a month. The Department of Energy did not return questions about his short tenure. In other news, President Donald Trump nominated Sean Plankey to head the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency on Tuesday, the last major piece to fall into place for cybersecurity leadership in his administration. Plankey served in the first Trump administration, holding a few posts with cyber responsibilities. He was Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Energy Department's Office of Cybersecurity, Energy Security, and Emergency Response in 2019 and 2020. Before that, he was Director of Cyber Policy at the National Security Council, starting in 2018. He has most recently been at the global security advisory company WTW. Plankey was briefly under consideration in 2020 to lead the agency he's now nominated to be director of after Trump forced Chris Krebs out of the role. He had long been thought to be Trump's pick this time around as well. His nomination will now be moved before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, and if confirmed, Plankey would inherit an agency under new pressure in the Trump administration, with some of its responsibilities curtailed and some of its personnel eliminated. He would at least have, though, one key deputy, with Karen Evans already in place as Executive Assistant Director for Cybersecurity at CISA. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit FedScoop.com. The Daily Scoop podcast is available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back next week with brand new episodes. Until then, I'm your host, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.